Welcome back, fellas.
Yo, what's good? What's going on, y'all?
All right, we back from summer camp or whatever you want to call it. Just being away, taking a little time off. You guys do anything interesting this summer?
No, I was just working, man, trying to get these coins, get people off my back, trying to be a responsible citizen and represent my community well.
All right.
So I really didn't do anything.
That was the PC answer.
Yeah, there was.
Right. Rose, anything?
Nah, man, I ain't do too much, man. I'm just trying to get this paper and stay out their way, man. Stay out of people's way. That's it.
All right, I feel you. Yo, welcome, my brother AD.
What's up, bro?
Just so y'all know, there'll be a little cut in the pod because we had to take a pause. But finish what you were saying. You just took your son to the zoo.
Yeah, I took Garvey to the zoo.
I love the zoo, by the way.
The zoo was cool when I was a kid, but I think now as an adult, I'm like,
It's like a cage for
it's fucked
animals.
up, actually.
Yeah.
It's pretty fucked up.
It's better to go to the country and visit the animals, I feel like.
Right, it's better. I think I like farms better, right? Like,
Yeah.
and depending on the kind of farm, it could be a farm that's,
Bacon
unethical or ethical, right?
But a bacon farm, like that little oink oink, he gonna get
got,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
But overall, I just think like the way that a zoo is set up, it's almost like a concentration camp for animals.
Yeah.
Damn, I got quiet on that one. But think about it, right?
We was just offline talking about there's certain
wild
things you can't talk about.
What, animals?
No.
The other thing. Okay.
Can't talk about.
Yeah, watch it.
And you'll know by who you can mention and who you could talk shit about. AKA, if you think of that Dave Chappelle thing, like he said, you could say nigga freely, but there's certain slurs. I remember I was talking to somebody. I was talking to my shorty, and I didn't say nigga, but like I said another slur. I'm not gonna say it on here, and she was like, "Oh my god, you can't say that." I was like, "Why not?" Like if you listen to hip hop, we say racial slurs about ourselves all the time.
I mean, it's funny because we live in America, right? And I just think the ideal of free speech, well, I think we need to really, really, like, take a deep dive in that. Like, let's honor it. Like, let's have free speech. Let's have people say what they want to say. Now, if you do say some shit that people don't like, then they have the right to kind of openly combat it. But I don't think we should get into the game of, like, censoring anybody.
But there is a
Well, your job is different. They got rules.
But there is
They got rules.
But there is a thin line because you got like the dark net where
Well, the darkness.
cheers.
Salud.
Where cats have been saying, hey, free speech, I can say whatever, and then you end up having a.
That's not a fact though. So
Yeah, but you know what's silly about all that
people gotta
shit?
read the whole joint though. The first amendment. I'm sorry, brother.
Nah, the thing that's silly about all that shit is like, here we are tripping about free speech and words, right? Some shit that's from the Constitution, right? And then we also having a Constitution to bear arms, right? And then motherfuckers is getting shot up like every day, like this shit is nothing. But people more worried about, you know what I'm saying, what someone has to say about whatever. Like that shit is crazy to me.
Y'all keep giving me plugs for the next topic, but I don't want to jump to
Nah, we don't gotta get into that.
I'm just saying, like,
I'm just saying,
there's a
like,
couple of topics on this joint.
like
that
people are
y'all keep
dying.
up.
I
You know
still
what I
say
mean?
if you want to change gun, you want to get gun reform, have any one of these guys who's like doing mass murders go shoot up a dog kennel. It'll happen overnight.
Yeah,
for
for
sure.
real.
Oh my god.
Oh,
But
man.
kill
Let's stay
32
on
dogs
topic. We can stay
with a
on
gun?
topic. I'm just.
Oh.
Real quick, you said something before we took a quick break, and you were talking about, again, this doesn't have to do with marketing, but just everyday life. You said something about speaking to people on the block, and I noticed something in like I guess you could call it New York. People don't say good morning.
Nah.
I noticed like people don't do that anymore.
Yeah, well,
It's like you think it's because of transplants? Or like people just don't do that, or
nah, I think it is. I think it's the people that's passing through, like from where they're from. They don't have to do that. Like there's people who text me in the morning. And they don't text me good morning. I'm like, yo, what?
like they
you
just
bugging?
go straight into
They're
asking
going
for something.
straight into just because I spoke to you yesterday. Like I don't care if I spoke to you yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Like my grandfather used to say, you know,
Your grandfather was a prolific man.
yeah, he was.
And from St. Matthews,
South Carolina.
South Carolina.
That's a
I
no
always
cap.
remember.
No cap.
No cap. I always remember.
But no, like he used to say, even like he used to say like even a dog deserves like somewhere for you to bury them. You know what I'm saying? Like you ain't gonna just walk past me like I ain't nobody. You know what I'm saying? But he's from the South though. So from the South, that's a common thing. Like you have to say,
you have to say what's up.
You gotta say good morning, and it's only right. I'm acknowledging you.
I mean, look, I've only been here 11 years, which is, I guess, pretty substantial amount of time.
Only 11?
Right?
I feel like you.
It's been great.
Yo, AD. Honestly, bro. You feel like a Brooklyn dude to me. But go ahead.
Well, you know, I keep telling people Brooklyn and Atlanta is kind of the older Atlanta kind of feels the same to me. But I must say that the guys that I noticed who were like always cordial was like old school New Yorkers.
Yeah.
Right?
People
and
born and raised New York.
I feel like this weird stigma of like New Yorkers don't speak. I think that's something about these transplant coming in with the assumptions that, well, I got to be tough in this city, and I'm just going to not speak, right? So I think that's from my observation. And, you know, a lot of shit could be just language barrier.
Yeah. I mean, a lot
of English people.
A lot of them cats is, a lot of them, and you know what's so
people
crazy?
from Idaho.
A lot,
that's
right,
what I'm saying.
so that's
a lot
the
of them
point.
just transplant
So that's the point. Like a lot of them cats are just passing through, right? So you take, all right, so let's take the average person.
You gonna use the metaphor you use in the chat?
Yeah. They passing through, meaning they come here at whatever, they go to college, wherever they're from, if they're from Maine or they're from Idaho, per what you said, right?
Arizona,
from wherever they're from, right? They're running away from something, whatever that is, right? They get here at 20, 21. They never went outside like that. Now they get to go out. They get drunk. They go to bars. They do all this crazy shit now, right? From that time, 21, 22, they start their career. About 29, 30, they want to be married. And you know what they want to do? Move right back to wherever they from.
Home.
You know what I'm saying?
New York is $5 hoe to a lot of people.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And
just 5?
Yeah, just 5. Like this is the lowest.
And they take.
Yeah.
We worry about the Mexicans. We should be worrying about the dudes that's passing through, taking jobs from people. You know what I'm saying? See, see, my thing is, I don't have a problem with that as long like stay here though. Yeah. Like stay here,
or help contribute
something, bro.
Right,
like stay here. That's my thing. I don't care about anyone who wants to move here, but if you move, just stay.
Because you got a point. If you move to like China or if you go to any country, you gotta sometimes declare what are you doing to benefit that country,
right?
And some states that know they have the jobs, they have the people, they have the transportation should start doing that.
Absolutely.
Like obviously you have a job here, so that's contributing to the economy. But what else are you doing to help better we speak about New York specifically, but like it could apply to Atlanta, Chicago, wherever you move.
And it's so ill that you say that too, because like when I went to China and we all work in the ad game, I told them what I did for a living, and they was like, "Oh, nah, like you work in advertising. This is a communist nation. Now you can only be here for 3 months max." They told me how long I could be there for.
Where'd you go in China?
I was in Beijing.
Oh, I might go to Shanghai. I'm gonna talk to you after.
Yeah, let's talk about it. But I'm just saying, like, they protecting
their culture,
the neck.
They're protecting the neck.
They protect their neck.
You know what I'm saying?
Because they don't want you to bring no info and start.
My thing is, I want people to stay here, man. I want these same people who are passing through, like, not just, you know, having the likes of some bistro and then some corner store, Bay. Some what they call it, bodega, and then they could come to work and they could talk about, oh yeah, there's a bodega, so I'm from New York now. Like, no, motherfucker, stay here. Right. Stay here. I want you to get robbed. I want you to get seriously. I want you to be
experience the real New York.
I want you to experience the New York that I had to experience, and then stay. Don't get robbed and want to leave.
Right. I mean,
deal with some crackheads.
Back. Good.
Yeah. I'm glad we talked about China real quick because we're gonna go from things you can't do in 2019 to should you care 2019. Oh, but before we do that. AD, I wanted to give you this. We got you this.
Got you a gift
from when we was when Shadow and I were in Chicago.
Okay. Chicago's love. What we got here? Oh, like some Maker's Mark. Ad Bros, Maker's Mark.
Yeah, they were doing
I like that.
With the cups and
that's ill.
Quick story, Shadow and I were a little toasty. And we were like, yo, let's get some for the crew. So we got a couple. I got one for Kofax. Thousand has his in Chicago. We left it there with him.
I like that, bro.
You want to talk about the one you gave to me?
Yeah, Rose got one too.
Nah, I'm just fucking with you.
Like,
Yo, tell a story. Tell a story behind the story.
Nah.
You don't want to do that. You ain't from Queens?
All right. So, I mean, essentially, basically, I mean, we had like 6 cups and we had no bag. So we found somebody had a bag and stashed it with water. So we took the bag, left the water.
We didn't take their stuff.
We just took the bag.
Right.
And then there was nowhere to stash it. So Shadow and I just put it in the back somewhere. And we were just like, yo, just don't forget to take it when we leave. And
That's some real New
it's,
York.
it's,
AD,
it's
all
here
they
in New
saying,
York.
all they
That's
saying,
some real
AD.
Queens, New York shit, right?
So,
You
but they
guys are
still
wild.
they feel so they're still gonna receive their blessing, right?
But
Because
yeah.
they didn't take the shit that was in the bag. They only
Of
took
course
the
not.
bag.
That's
Yeah.
thievery.
Yeah,
stealing.
We don't do that.
Oh, why would I steal?
Leave the gun, bring the cannoli.
Leave the gun, bring the cannoli.
Yeah, I like that.
Leave the bag, bring the glass.
All right, I love that. All right, so real quick, AD, we talked about things you can't do after summer 2019.
Yeah.
Purchasing cucumbers,
Oh, man, that cucumber shit was dumb.
playing video games with your homeboy. This was after Black Mirror. Using face apps. That's one more thing you can't
That's
do.
I don't even want to get. Okay,
Wait.
I got a whole point of view on that shit.
What were you gonna say about FaceApp? Because I feel like
Can't use them.
why?
Because of the Russians.
Because the Russians stored everybody's information after using it.
Yeah, but I thought you was gonna get into like what I called out a long time ago.
What?
A grown man should be using anna emojis. I agree. Yo, I ain't gonna lie. Now, the only time I've done
agree with
anna emojis is with my son.
Yeah,
'Cause
exactly. I
He
did-
liked
yeah,
it. He
yeah.
laughed at it. He think it's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah, I did
But
it with
yo,
my
I'll
nephew.
be real, man. I
Nah, but
can't
that's
be saying
different.
that.
That's different.
But why would you do anything with your face though? So the thing is like,
Well, you unlock
That's
don't you
data.
unlock your phone with your face?
hell no.
I do.
Nah, dog.
I do. Fuck it.
y'all-
I'm lazy.
Nah, dog.
I'm lazy,
not me.
bro.
Oh, man.
They not getting my face. Y'all already got my thumbprint.
They already got your face.
Would you do like?
yeah, I got you.
All right, real quick.
If you was ever on Facebook, your face is got, son.
Yeah. it's
If
got-
you real quick, if there was a new global entry that you could get through security in 5 minutes, just do a face scan. Would you do it?
no,
No.
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 No. Rose.
Your face is data, bro.
He's giving me the head nod. No.
No.
All right.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm just asking. I'm about to
'cause
get
you
my
know-
global entry.
I mean,
now.
I'm just thinking about
Not
it, right?
that,
Like, you know, Facebook
Stunting,
whole
light stunt.
Facebook has been having like facial recognition from day one. Like,
Yeah, they've had it for a long
They've
time.
had it. They probably were the first ones to even have it. It just nobody was even talking about it. I think Apple made it popular with the phones,
Is
right?
this your friend Sarah?
Right. They use your face to use matching whatever a long time ago. But if you just look at it, right? So, okay, Facebook got that. Depending on what phone you have, you're using that to unlock a phone. They have that. And if you're giving, like, I guess, Clear.
any apps too, right?
Well,
Like,
yeah,
whatever
the
apps
apps.
used to
Well,
open.
the one thing I got to
Maybe,
give
maybe.
Apple credit, they say that they try to keep that data specifically on the phone and not necessarily that the developer or like the actual app maker can have access to that. But we don't really know, right?
Yeah,
we
yeah.
just can only just hope that Apple is about their privacy. But I think you start looking at like something like Clear. That's yet another spot now have your facial data. I just think that somebody's always going to have it, like our local municipalities, police systems. They're going to have that just through the
Amazon
cameras
just got flack for
that, right?
they're gonna start doing some program where
I just think
the
when you
facial
willingly
recognition.
giving up to when
That
you start
shows
giving
your
out to
emotions. I'm looking
multiple
up.
spots, you're now just having your biometric just floating out there, right? And you know you can't get away from not using it ultimately. But what you can do is control who's using it. This whole notion of DCR, I think it's DCRM. It's around privacy. I can't remember the acronyms, but
The GDPR.
So,
GDPR, right?
Yeah.
So I just think that if more and more people understand how to use their rights, their privacy rights, and understand where their data is living, then you can have a better way of like controlling it. I just, for me, giving my face up to Clear, I don't know enough about this company. I don't know where they're storing this stuff. Things can get hacked all the time, and that's yet just one more outlet I'm putting my stuff on.
And
I'm
in
good on
addition to that, if you are gonna do that, you should sell it. Like, don't just give the shit away for free.
that. I agree.
yeah, real quick,
Strippers do it all the time.
Amazon is
It's true.
facing flack because
What's up, Atlanta?
they have software that's coming out that could basically recognize 7 emotions: fear, anger, happy, sad, which could be
Sentiment,
used,
huh? Sentiment.
yeah,
Oh,
which could
yeah.
be used
Sentiment.
against you. If
Yeah,
you,
a couple of
in the court of law.
couple big tech companies are doing that, and they're getting good at it. That whole it's like what Minority Report, right? It feels very
Minority Report.
So I guess basically that bleeds into should you care? You should care.
You should fucking care
about face apps.
Yep.
Using
Okay, so let's talk about that, right?
And
why you think people were so up in like? Why people were just so like
open to using it?
Well, you open to using the one that allowed the face app that the Russians put out
Well,
that AIDS people so quickly.
I want to say I think
it's fads.
Oh.
Like,
it was so convenient to use.
But I think
but it's fads.
But
somebody
it's a
did
fad.
it.
It's true.
It's like
somebody
a dance.
did it. Let me do it. Too.
Well,
But
that and it's kind of like you know, they tap into a human emotion. Everybody want to almost predict what the future could be.
Yeah.
So if you can predict how you're gonna look,
but also too.
You did that shit?
hell no.
But also too.
You know I ain't
fuck, I'm gonna do that for.
One thing.
I know you ain't do it.
One thing. I never even heard of the app, but then like suddenly my whole Instagram feed was flooded with people looking old.
I'm like,
So
who the old motherfuckers?
Like, you gotta understand anything that's served to you, like it's served with a purpose. Whether
True.
if it's like through contextual keywords, or if you're talking about like lookalike models, like we talked about Wu-Tang earlier, right? So like even when I typed in Wu-Tang or like Breakfast Club or whatever I typed in that had Wu-Tang, I got served ads based off of what I typed in.
Yeah.
And they're gonna show me all Wu-Tang stuff. It's just whoever you follow, and if they're integrated within it, then they might serve.
I ain't go front. I use that.
You use that?
I ain't.
Well,
post
how you
nothing.
look?
Wow, how'd you look? You look crazy.
I look old as fuck.
What? Yeah.
But that's how I knew.
Was it
Did you
graceful
use-
old
did you
or
use-
more like a
but
weathered?
but that's how I knew it was bullshit.
Did you use
That
the
ain't
baby
cool.
app?
Nah, I never used that.
The baby app. What the
You
fuck?
know the one when they was making Stephen A. Smith sound like a baby?
Oh nah, I never used that. I know what you talk about, but
I don't know, man.
all right.
But you know, humans do like to augment themselves. So
Yeah, you want to
for
see what the
what? I
future
don't
look
know
like.
why.
Like you said, you had a good point. All right. Should you care? Popeye's chicken sandwiches.
no.
All right, that's a straight
It's
no.
GMO. It's GMO chicken. All right, let's talk about
But
that.
the marketing.
Well,
how about
wet
the marketing?
Well, wet
Should you care
marketing.
about the
Because
marketing?
they didn't pay for marketing. And they
They
got,
got
well,
23 million.
I'm about to say, you the metric
Yeah,
guy here, right?
23
It's 23 million
million
of like what would be normally a paid for that engagement. It costs $23 million, right?
I think it's like sales.
Yeah, well, sales or advertising.
Sorry, it might be advertising.
Ads. Okay. From my understanding, it was 23 million of if they had to run a
viewers. Yeah,
campaign,
yeah.
Right.
it,
Right,
it would
23
cost that
million
amount of
advertising.
money to get that amount of engagement, right? So I don't know, man. It's amazing that all of a sudden you had us, as in the culture, kind of participate in it, but then you had Chick-fil-A kind of battling,
responding.
yeah, responding on Twitter. Yeah, you know, you had Twitter beef between companies about a goddamn chicken sandwich, right? And again, you know, the culture, we give up the metric. I think we said that a couple of shows ago. Like we get the metric.
Yeah.
We give up the metric willingly for literally nothing.
I mean, for me, it's like. If
And
you
I heard
wanna
the sandwich.
enjoy-
I heard it was a good sandwich.
If you want to enjoy this sandwich, that's cool. But why did so many people feel the need to post it?
But guess who predicted this? Boondocks.
Oh yeah.
Aaron McGruder's a genius, man. He predicted this on a Boondocks episode.
That was a little bit the Luther, right?
No, the Luther was different. It was like
Okay, yeah,
it
that's
was
what I think
like
he was talking about.
it was-
Oh yeah, no. That wasn't prediction. That really happened.
It really happened, but he
At
also
Popeyes where they ran out of chicken.
right. Somehow
Yo, it's-
Popeyes
it's-
and not enough chickens.
R.I.P. to Charlie Murphy. So my
Yeah.
sister lived in Starrett City at one point, and she went into the Popeyes. Everybody on Pennsylvania Avenue know that Popeyes over there, and Charlie Murphy was in there, right?
Oh, word?
Yeah, and then
Dope.
he was in there. It was late or whatever, and then I guess they ran out of chicken, and Charlie Murphy like went in, and he was like, "What? Y'all ran out of chicken? Y'all fucking Popeyes? How the fuck y'all run out of chicken?"
That's what everybody says, but you can run out of food. All right.
True, but I guess I guess overall, right? Like,
That chicken sandwich came out before. We all know this.
yeah, it's kind of like how I guess McDonald's does the
Yeah.
chicken sandwich.
Yeah,
It
you
comes
just
out-
start.
it
Yeah,
comes
or the
out-
McRib.
Yeah, the McRib. Right. I'm
You
sorry.
just re-promote it. New bread.
But
I
I'm
don't
just
know.
questioning is like, is it popular because it's good?
Calvin.
Or is it popular because
Calvin got a job.
Calvin got a job at McDonald's. I love it. I mean, Burrell did that? Did Burrell do that? Somebody
so.
did that shit.
I
Somebody-
used to see that shit everywhere.
But yeah, I just find it amazing how something can go really viral. And again, things go viral, and we make it viral, but we don't own it.
Yeah, that's
Right.
crazy.
We don't own the platform that's going viral. Nor do we own the product, or at least a stock in it, right?
Even the platform doesn't get any money from it it going viral.
Not really, but
They just get viewership. They get
That's
people
all
on
that
the-
matters,
on the-
right?
Well, that's
They're
what
getting that
matters.
data.
Doesn't matter.
Be-
Yeah,
and that matters because now they can sell that to advertisers
Yeah.
and media people, and they can say, "Oh, this is the reason why you need to be here because you have
Right.
That's
this
worth
person."
more than like the actual engagement itself.
Right.
Yeah.
And then when clients ask for like breakouts across months, like periods of times, like the indices, like who indexed high, like in what month was it? In fucking July, AA people indexed high off of
Whatever the case.
So
whatever.
hold on. So,
Yeah.
let's stay here for a second, right? So, well, let's talk about that.
let's stay
right?
here, Tony.
Let's stay here for a
Relax.
second.
We gotta relax. We gotta relax.
Let's stay here for a second. Let's talk about like. So you're talking about purely from the media standpoint, right?
Yes, sir.
So if you think about just like a creative approach to that, right, in terms of creating like a visual, audible, or some type of campaign that has some artifacts to it, right? I think in today's world, it's literally impossible to create a campaign, a visual campaign that is, that's actually going to engage your audience and get them to go out and buy a chicken on that level, buy a chicken sandwich or a product on that level. It's almost virtually impossible because by the time you plan such said campaign, you go shoot it, edit it, get it deployed. That campaign, that whole moment is gone, right?
Yeah,
I mean-
but I think we spoke about this moment before,
Yeah.
right? Like I felt like on other pods we talked about going viral, right?
Right.
We had a whole pod about this, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Go
we
back and
talked
check
about-
it out.
Yeah, exactly. Season 1. And we talked about, you know, the impact of going viral. What does it mean? And it's like it's a momentary thing. So
It
like
is true.
that whole Popeyes thing lasted for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Right? So you had your favorite celebrities like saying like, "Oh, I can't even get a sandwich." Or like I don't know if Popeyes seeded these people to say
Right.
like, "Yo,
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like so I
that
mean
was my point about the Face app thing. Is like same thing with Popeyes. Is like, did they seed this with a few people, or is it just FOMO? Like, oh, I see a couple of people talking about it. I don't want to be left out.
I think it's both.
I think it's
Yeah.
both.
Like I think it's both.
I remember
Like,
Shannon Sharp posted about that. I was like,
So we're living in an age now that everything is a headline. It's
Yeah.
no more campaigns. Everything is literally like, you know, some type of news. It's more of a news lens than an actual campaign advertising lens. Like,
Gotta
it's
be quick,
clicks.
man.
It
You
has
gotta
to be
be
quick,
quick.
right? It's
You gotta be
breaking
quick
news.
to that
Everything
shit.
is breaking news, and that's why I think advertising now can't compete with that. A meme can shut down a whole campaign. A cheap $2, not even $2.
or a meme can make your campaign better.
It could if you're smart.
the only thing that advertising does in my eyes is advertising tries to find their way in the middle of all of it, right? So it's like
Right.
They used to lead the culture, but now
right.
it's
So
like
now they're trying to
following.
find like, all right, but where do I fit in all of this,
Yeah.
right? So like now we talked about that and like Popeyes, and now Chick-fil-A has a piece of the conversation now, and then the conversation goes to, yo, y'all still don't open on Sundays, right? So now you're like, what? Are you a Popeyes guy or a Chick-fil-A guy?
Wow,
Like
wow,
you know what I'm saying?
polarization.
And then
And
this is the whole
wow,
conversation that comes out of nowhere.
And then
So
KFC
now-
is
It's almost like, you know, it's almost, and it's like, where do I fit? And I think that's what advertising is. I mean, I'm kind of pivoting a little bit, but I want to stay on this topic. It's like Naomi Osaka and Coco, right?
Yeah.
Great moment for tennis,
Yeah.
right?
One or the
Coco
other.
loses. Naomi's like, Osaka's like, all right, come on, just have this moment. Let's have this moment together.
Right.
You know what I noticed as an advertiser? They hugged each other in the middle. I just saw a Rolex and I saw a Ralph Lauren, Polo
Yep.
Ralph Lauren.
Yep.
That's what I saw. So all those additional, like this organic media,
Damn.
like it's like all these impressions. They didn't have to even pay for it. I mean, they already paid for it because they had to open.
Remember back in the day though when you used to have videos of MTV when they used to blur out the logos?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's because they ain't pay for it.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
MTV was like, "Oh, you're not paying for FUBU, so we're gonna cover that up."
Right.
I think what we have become, and I think is an maybe a de-evolution, is that we become so brand centric and so brand conscious that we just recognize brands all the time.
Right. I think that it all matters, right?
Yeah.
So like, no matter what we're doing, I think again we have people who are leading the charge, leading the culture, and it's people that's gonna follow.
Yeah. All right. So next summer recap, should you care? We could keep this light because I know everybody's been talking about it.
Oh, here it comes.
The whole NFL deal.
Ooh, it got
You
so
got-
quiet up here.
You got any
Wait,
thoughts?
crip
And also
quiet up
too,
here.
just to catch up from the original announcement, I think Meek Mill, Rhapsody, and there's another
Megan
artist.
Trainor.
Yeah.
Are gonna perform at some NFL opening event or something.
That was the last Wednesday. They
Yeah.
did it Wednesday or Thursday.
So I mean, we let's keep it light because everybody's been talking about it, but would love to hear. Should people care about it?
But
If not, then just give a quick why.
I mean, historically, he's already told you what he's about. He's about his money.
Yeah.
So why would this be a concern? Like, he's about his money. He's
But-
about his family's lineage and.
But
and
do you
his
think
legacy.
the deal is beneficial to NFL?
Well,
Of
yeah,
course.
yeah. I mean, I guess the bigger question is, it goes deeper than Hov, in my opinion, right? Like to Shallow's point of view, not even point of view, just his overall point. Hov has always told you what he was about from day one, right?
Very clear.
And it's
I'm
very
out for
clear.
presidents to represent me.
Yeah. I mean, look, man. Hey, that's a lyric, and you're not an accidental billionaire. I don't
out to
care who
Nas.
you are. I mean,
Right.
maybe you could say that Jenner girl, but she sold a lot of goddamn lipstick to become a billionaire, right? So that said, it's kind of like, okay, so Hov is doing his thing with the NFL, right? Okay, cool, whatever. What are we asking the NFL? Because the NFL, at the end of the day, they are a business entity. Their goal is to make money off ticket sales, merchandise, and sell advertising and beers, right?
Yep.
Hot dogs, beers, ticket sales,
Yeah.
advertising
Yeah.
around this thing called, 100-yard
entertainment.
running on a field, right?
Right.
The Gladiator.
The gladiator, it's a blood sport, right? You can't. I don't know if we're trying to ask the NFL to like solve our societal problem because they was never created for that.
Nope.
I think the bigger question we need to ask, right? Like, I know Cap is doing his thing. He got his settlement. He took the knee. We all took the knee with him, I guess. But he also got paid, and now he's
Bro,
not saying that.
That was your severance. That was his
He got-
That was
he
his
got
severance
back pay. He got
He's not
back
saying.
pay,
Well,
technically.
he's no
his
longer.
severance.
He can't say nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're sitting here holding a wet bag, an empty bag, right? Jake in his bag, Cap got his bag. What are we doing? Because if we're now asking the NFL to solve a problem around police brutality, you're now asking a league that's only been around like 50, 60 years to solve almost a
NFL is
150-year
Yeah.
issue because the police culturally was created to go out and find ex-slaves.
Right.
So you can't. It's weird to ask a for-profit industry such as the NFL to solve that problem.
Right.
So I just feel like we don't know what to ask no more, right? We're being reactionary to Hov
And
fucking
Cap.
with the NFL, Cap getting blackballed by the NFL, and the NFL overall. And it's funny because the NFL culturally still resembles that of a slave plantation,
Absolutely.
right? With the combine and all that
The
stuff.
combine is crazy.
Yet at the same
you look at that young black bucks.
Yeah,
That's what's
basically hadn't performed to see if they the best buck. Yet at the
Yeah.
same time, who am I to tell these guys what to do as a grown man to provide for their families too, right?
And in addition to that, yes and no, because in slavery you didn't get paid, and if you did get
This
paid,
is true.
you paid your master. This situation,
They getting paid.
You paid taxes, but you get to walk away with the bag. I think that's the difference.
This is true.
Unless you
that's,
AB.
that is a consideration, but also you got to think about employee treatment, bro. Like, employees are not treated the same when you work at your day-to-day job versus how NFL players are thought of. Is a very different story. How like the physical treatment is, and you can have your career for 40 years. They can't have their career for 40 years.
I mean, it's not made for that.
But right,
It is voluntary.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like what? So
That's a fair
with,
point.
I mean, I don't know the average NFL career. I want to say
It's like
4
3 to
seasons.
4 years.
I want to say
Yeah,
4
it's short.
seasons.
Word?
4
I
years.
thought it was like 8 to 10.
Nah,
Depend on the
it's very
position.
short,
Depending on the
bro.
position.
You gotta
Them
understand.
running backs don't last a long time.
Nah,
And,
Barry
and the
Sanders got
NFL is
out
not guaranteed
quick.
money.
No,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
My bad.
So I mean, at the end of the day, like to your point, I feel like, yeah, you might have to jump and do all this other shit. I can't do it, but
I ain't
someone's
gonna
gonna do it.
Right.
Absolutely.
Someone is gonna
Someone's
do it,
gonna do
and
it.
they're gonna get a bag for it. And I can't. One of my quotes is, "I love to see a black man get a check in America." So I can't. So for me,
Talk about
listen, man. We know people that do all kind of shit, whether if it's legal or illegal. I never say anything about it, but if you get caught, that's on you.
Right.
But so here's the situation. I totally agree. Like I feel like, Yeah, that's some bullshit that they got them out there doing. But you know what?
You ain't
These
gotta
people
do it.
gotta. They can make generational wealth, bro.
Yeah.
Couple million.
Well, I don't know if that's generational wealth because they could go broke, but
Realistically, though,
I mean,
they could
over the course of your life, if you net $40 million,
it's
Yeah,
crazy.
But, you know,
That's
bringing
crazy.
enough.
But them guys not bringing that in. I mean,
Nah,
they gotta pay
hell,
agents,
that's what I'm
taxes,
saying. Like
Agents, taxes, lawyers,
and hoes.
Lifestyle.
that too.
if your net is
Not
if your
guaranteed.
gross is 40
Contracts.
million, your net has to be like 18.
Yeah, then
or
you also
17.
you also giving guys a bunch of money who never had money too.
Right.
Yeah.
I just think overall, man, like, you know, again, what are we asking the NFL to do? Because that's not their job.
That's not their job.
to
Absolutely not.
solve the problems of black people. And nor would I want them to solve that, to be honest with you. Right?
Yeah.
That's just
That's
real
why
talk.
AD is my man.
I mean,
G.
for real, they're the
That's
NFL.
why AD is my
yeah.
man. G.
And I think also too, I think the bigger thing we need to start looking at, right, is you know, just CTE shit. 'Cause
That's what I was about to
that's
say.
a bigger issue,
Would
man.
you take 30 mil?
Yep, sure would.
So you take that?
Y'all can tackle me right here.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna start off right off the line right here. I'm crossing the middle. I'm gonna tell you, I'm crossing the middle.
But at the end of the
Line
day,
it up.
man, I just think we need to not be surprised about when certain people from the community, such as Jay, because one, while he has done a lot of great things, especially with the documentaries he's been pushing out around like Emmett Till and the brother
Khalif Browder.
you know, and even the things he's done with like a lot of the protesters from Ferguson. You know, at the end of the day, he's a capitalist.
Right.
And capitalists, at the end of the day,
And that's what
you always
America's
say,
about.
There's no more code to
Yeah.
capitalism, right?
Yeah.
So
True.
Just like remember the Barney situation, right? The racial
Yeah,
profile.
yeah.
He gave y'all a $200 T-shirt.
Yeah.
Buy a $200 T-shirt.
Yeah.
Let's get this paper.
But we as a culture, we just buy into celebrities too much, and
Absolutely.
we just do. And when they start doing things that we don't like, we gotta understand that those people,
They're human.
They're human, but they're also getting paid to be them.
Absolutely.
They're getting paid to be Hov or Nicki or
I ain't mad at it.
shit, even Joe Biden.
Pay me.
They're getting paid to be who they are.
Absolutely.
And you know, Shallow said it. Yo, he has always made his coins. And if he can make a coin off
he should.
doing, you know, using the culture to
Yeah.
push a bigger agenda, he's going to do it. Now, does this potentially set him up to own a team? I guess. But let's ask a bigger question. Why do we got to own the NFL? Why can't that start your own thing?
Right. And
But then again, that's a bigger
Having a
issue
seat
too.
at
That
the
is a
table,
bigger
I
issue.
guess.
Because the NFL is more than just teams; it's also stadiums that these team owners don't pay for.
It's a lot of
Absolutely.
jerseys
It's a lot
being
of shit,
sold.
man.
But
The rabbit hole is deeper than what it
that's-
is, bro. I just think we need to like say, hey, you know, if he's doing that, fine. We should be worrying more about voter suppression than what the fuck Jay-Z is doing with
Absolutely.
I
NFL.
like that. All right.
Mob.
So